I was studying mathematics, but I just constantly felt like this was not the thing for me.
Okay.
And that night I had a dream. And in that dream, I was public relations. This is not adverse, but I was public relations for MTN Cameroon. So I woke up and I'm like, what is public relations? What do I have to study to be a PR person? You know, as women, first of all, there's always that tendency that, okay, women don't work well together. But I think as with every human being, what we have learned over time is I know where I'm strong and I know where my partners are strong. You realize that there are so many bright and amazing women out there doing amazing things. You know, women are basically feeding this country, and a lot of those women are entrepreneurial women. So all face the same thing.
Yes.
How do you balance being a wife, being a mother, and being an entrepreneur, which is a 2-4-7 women are not generally taught. You know, how to do your taxes, how to do your accounting every month, how to, what are the opportunities that you have working with banks, working, you know, how do you get financing, how do you manage your finances.
Today we are with a woman for who everything started with a dream. Her course choices in high school and at the university didn't prepare her for the career path she was about to choose. But as she said, she had a dream and she wanted it to come true. So she switched major, worked hard, and today she is the co-founder of one of the best PR agencies in the country, working with big brands and company. But as we all know, entrepreneurship isn't really a cup of tea. She agreed to join us here to let us know more about her entrepreneurship journey. So if you are curious, join us in MAFUE FORCHU episode 3 right after the intro. MAFUE, thank you for having me in your beautiful office.
Thank you for coming. Good afternoon. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm okay.
Okay, thank you. Like I've never been in a PR or communication agency before.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's really beautiful. It's so bright and full of good vibes. I like it.
Thank you.
And I'm thankful to finally see where the magic happens, because I've seen your work.
Okay.
The work of the agency.
Nice.
I'm like, okay, it was really nice, beautiful. I'm finally glad to be where all those things happen.
Thank you so much.
And I'm also glad to be with you, one of the person who create this empire and build something really important for young people, young women like me. Yeah. When we see your work, we are like, okay, it's another woman who do something like this.
Thank you.
Okay, I know you are not alone. You have two other co-founders and your team. Okay, but we are not here. We are here for you. We want to know you. We want to know who you are. Okay. Not only as a co-founder, as an entrepreneur, but also as a woman. Okay. We want to know you, and yes. All right. Present yourself. Introduce yourself, please.
So, like you said, my name is MAFUE FORCHU, but all my friends call me Mafi. So I'm a simple person. Yes. I have very big dreams, which sometimes feel crazy. I'm a first daughter to two amazing parents. I have 2 siblings. Yes.
And not being a first daughter isn't really easy.
I know. Like so it feels like I already have 2 kids. Yeah. And then
no, like I feel you.
Yeah, and I'm an auntie. I take that title very seriously to so many amazing nieces and nephews. Okay. I am blessed to have very great support system. I have great friends. In fact, all my friends, they're not many, but they're all my sisters. And so in a nutshell, that's me. I'm just a simple girl, just who has very crazy dreams, and I just wake up every day and I try to do 1 or 2 things to just move forward. Yes.
Okay, thank you. But I'm talking about your scholar background.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Where did you start?
I went to secondary and high school in Limbe Seka Baptist College. It's a boarding school, and we like to call ourselves the Harvard of Cameroon. And then I studied at the University of Boya, where I did a first degree in journalism and mass communication. Yes. I did a postgraduate diploma in the Pan-African Institute for Development, and my focus was international relations.
Relationship, yeah.
And then I did a master's in corporate communication, still at the University of Buea. So I'm fully bred and studied
In
Cameroonian.
Cameroon.
Yes.
But why communication? Like, did you just woke up a day, you were like, okay, I'm going to study communication, or was it a dream?
This is a funny story. It actually was a dream.
Oh.
Yes. So I was studying mathematics
Oh.
in the university. I know it sounds crazy. I was in the second year. I was going to the third year, so like
Yes.
graduation year. But I just constantly felt like this was not the thing for me.
Oh, yes.
So I had applied. I had asked a friend of mine to help me apply to change my department, and she had filled the form and she had to take it to the University of Buea the next day. And that night I had a dream, and in that dream I was public relations. This is not adverse, but I was public relations for MTN Cameroon.
Wow.
And I remember I was picking up Samuel Etofis from the airport in the dream. He was like their brand ambassador. So I woke up and I'm like, what is public relations? What do I have to study to be a PR person? And I just called my friend. I'm like, have you taken the form to school? And she's like, no. I'm like, whatever we had put in the first option, just cancel it and put journalism and mass communication. She was like, what? I said just
No.
do it. Just do
I
it.
just react the same.
Yes. I was like, so it was such a crazy switch, even for me. But I really just felt in my spirit that it was what I was supposed to do. And interestingly, my first year in studying journalism, when I remember feeling when I started going to classes, like this is what I like. You know, I like meeting people. I like organizing events. I like researching. I like knowing what's the news, what's happening.
It was like you found your true
So
self.
I really felt like, you know, I was so at peace. It's like you spoke about here. The energy is different.
Yes.
You know.
And what did your parents say? Like, if, like, I would just imagine if I had an intelligent doctor like
was
you.
crazy, and of course at the time, since I did not even have a proper explanation, like you cannot tell your parents that I dreamt about it.
I was a player, so I'm switching from mathematics to communication.
I don't think my explanations made sense, and rightfully they were not happy for a while, but they supported me anyway. Yes. So after the initial shock, they supported me until today. Like they're still my biggest supporters. Yes.
Okay, that's really good. But now, why did you choose to become an entrepreneur? Because you could have stayed an employee, receive your paycheck every month, and why?
Yes, I think the entrepreneurship for me, it was I wanted to do more. So yes, to be fair, as an employee, I think I'm someone who needs a lot of
space,
creative space, right?
Space to
so
develop yourself.
For me, after a couple of years working on the same brand, doing almost the same
things every day,
over and over, I felt like that was one reason I needed a space where I could be more versatile. Secondly, I also felt like there was a space in Cameroon. There was something missing, and I could feel that space because for the longest time, I think when I was much younger, I would only hear of about 1 or 2 PR agencies in the country.
Yes.
And I used to really follow them closely, like see what they're doing. You know, sometimes I would even volunteer on projects to just accompany them. And I felt like this is a space that needs more and more people because, you know, the story of our country, of our nation, of our continent, we need to tell those stories. And I felt like this is something that I could contribute to. So those were mainly the reasons I came into entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And you set up your agency with 2 other
so yeah, we would always talk. So my partner Santa, I've known her from secondary school, and we would always talk. We'll see things, we'll see something trending, and we'll be on a WhatsApp or on a call, and we're like, oh, they could have done this if we were this could have happened. And at some point we were like, but we keep saying that they should, why don't we actually just do it? So in 2017 we started working. We had our first event. It was a free event, but it was very interesting, and we kept pushing. We did a lot of pro bono work, because it's also difficult. It was difficult at the time to explain to people what PR is and why you need to pay for it. So we would do free work so people could understand what we're trying to do. And then in 2019, we had our first, actual big paying clients. And from then, everything has just
keep on
yes,
growing.
For real. So, and we're here today.
Okay, so how was it setting up an agency with two other women? Like, you are three different people.
Yeah.
You came together, but you have different values, different ideas, different point of view. Like, I know it's very difficult to agree sometimes. So whether some kind of fights, disagreement, you were like, no, whether some fight where you were like, okay, I don't want to do it anymore with those women. They're annoying me.
This would sound weird, but yes, I would not say it's easy. But the one thing that is clear is that till today, we've never gotten to that point where we're like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're always at the point where, okay, the way we are working now is not working. How can we fix it? And I think one thing that was very important for me to learn, and I think a friend actually shared a video with me where the speaker was talking about just learning who the people you work with are. As women, first of all, there's always that tendency that, okay, women don't work well together. But I think, as with every human being, what we have learned over time is, I know where I'm strong and I know where my partners are strong. And we all know where each other is weak. So what we do, and as God will have it, it's usually we complement each other. So where one person is weak, there's always a stronger person. And we just try to not be proud about it, but be able to say, okay, this is my forte, I can do up to here, but please, I need you to also take from here to the end. So the truth is, you just have to put what the client needs first as priority. So whatever thing it is that you're feeling, that you're going, the delivery product is more important. So even if I feel like, oh, I really like this video to be taken from the left, and someone else feels it's from the right, we need to put the client first. What does the client want? And we make sure that, okay, you keep your pride and your own aside, and then you execute. So I think so far we're trying our best to work well together. And like I said, the one thing we're all sure of is we want to do this. So even when we're not agreeing, we just figure out a way to work with
it.
Yeah, there's a lot of compromise. But
that's the key
it's good. And it also helps, like I said, that we are friends, because to do business with people, there needs to be a certain level of trust. So like I always say, I know that whatever we disagree about, at the foundation, there's a good intention. So when you can trust in intentions of people, you can easily work with them, because they're not trying to cheat you. They're not trying to harm you. Yes, it can be managed.
Okay, so aside from those little fights, little disagreement, were there some difficulties while setting up your agency? Until today, are there some difficulties?
I mean, yes, setting up an agency first. We were three women, and we are in a predominantly male, country and society. So, I mean, sometimes you would walk in a room and people would immediately try to disrespect you, you know. But I think one thing that I always set in my mind is that my work would always speak for me. So I make sure I deliver. So I mean, it's something that we deal with on a daily, but at the end of the day, when you look at my work, you cannot disrespect me. So I like that. So I just try to stay.
You let your work speak for you.
Yes, I try to stay really focused on delivering and then letting that speak for me. And I mean, also when Cameroon, there's definitely, you know, the financial challenges of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
There's some months where the math is not adding up. you do 1 + 1 12 times, thinking you've made a mistake. but I would just say, like I said, I have a great support system, and we always find a way, you know, to figure it out, you know, and yes, just manage that. It's not, and sometimes as well, it's not easy creating something that is in your head. You need to be able to translate it so other people can, you know, understand what you're trying to do, and they can support you. Like I mentioned, of course, there's financial challenges, you know. There's challenges of making people understand what the vision is, or buying into the vision, you know, either like as staff or as partners. But I think so far we are blessed, as I would say, and we are making it work.
Okay, as you mentioned, a lot of people don't understand what you are doing, what PR or marketing or communication is. So can you explain to us, what are you really doing here in Image Nation PR?
Okay, so Bates, I would say if public relations is that a brand or a person does to interact with their audience, and your audience can be your clients, your audience can be you know, your partners, your audience can be your investors. So what we do here is to understand, you know, what a brand's message is, understand who the brand is trying to talk to, and we make sure that we deliver the message to these people in the most convenient, the most effective way possible. So some of the things we do to ensure that is, one, for example, to work with the media. So media is like radio or television or newspaper or blogs. So that's one thing we do here, media relations. We also do influencer relations. So in case your message is best passed by an influencer, we also come up with strategy. How do you want to communicate? You know, how can you frame your message? What is your communication strategy in general? We can design that for you. We also create content. So do you want to do a video? Do you want to do an ad? Is it just a graphic, a static graphic design? Do you want to do a photo shoot? So everything around content. Do you want to write a story? Do you want to write an article? Do you want to write a book? Anything you want to write, you know, we offer copywriting services, content creation services. We also support on events. So because events are one of the ways that people communicate. So what is the experience of this event? You know, what is the flow of this event? How do you make sure that people come to an event and they enjoy, they understand your brand, you know, they go home with good things to say about your brand? We also support brands on their service to the community. You know, most responsible brands have a plan to create some impact in the communities that they work with. So we help them, you know, design these plans, decide what to do, and we support them, and we make sure that after this we also tell the story to the audience that you're working with, you know, a brand that supports, you know, supports kids, supports education, you know, supports the environment. So this is just a bit of the different things that we do.
Okay, we come back to you. Okay. I did an interview as I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and someone told me that when you want to start a company, well, the first thing you should ask yourself is what are your values, because the values is like the foundation of your of everything you are going to build after that. So what are the values of your company? What are your values?
One of our first value is integrity. One of our values is integrity. We believe in being, transparent and open and honest.
Yeah.
Generally in the world, PR has a bad reputation. It feels like PR is something that is there to hide crimes,
Yes.
So we're building a foundation of being a PR agency that, as I would say, for good. So we are honest and transparent. Our other value is reliability and professionalism. So like I mentioned before, when we were starting, we wanted to be the PR agency that you can count on to get the work done, and we will do it professionally and in a professional and in a reliable manner. You can always count on us. The third one is quality. Yeah. Because you can't be reliable if we don't deliver quality. So a lot of the time, quality is something that we will prioritize over everything else, and even it helps even in our interactions with the client. So we make sure that whatever we do, we deliver the best quality, world-class quality. Yes. And we also we're committed to creating value, because we believe that businesses are part of the ecosystem of the world in general. So if we are not able to create value for the business cannot create value for the community, and we feel like that has a ripple effect. So yeah, so in a nutshell, those are some of the things that we stand for as a company.
If you want to be transparent and you want to equality work,
yes, you can always count on us to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so months ago you worked with the Tony Elumelu Foundation, which was on the WE4A program, which was a women entrepreneurship centric program.
Yes.
So that means you met a lot of women entrepreneur, leader, manager. So I've always been curious. When you meet like that, you are a boss lady. When you are in a room, what are you talking about? Your struggles. You share advice. I want to know.
Yes. So that project was very interesting because it's the kind of project that I personally like, and I mean also as an agency we are happy to do, because you meet women, and the one thing is that whenever you meet them, you feel very humbled, very, very humbled. You realize that there are so many bright and amazing women out there doing amazing things. Women are basically feeding this country, and a lot of those women are entrepreneurial women. So that's one thing. And secondly, we like what we talk about, you realize that whether it's at the entry level or 10 years later in entrepreneurship, there are some struggles that as women we all face the same thing. How do you balance being a wife, being a mother, and being an entrepreneur? 2-4-7 job. So you have like 3 2-4-7 jobs.
You only have.
So we talk about people share their experiences. How did you manage? We share helpful tips. We talk about how we can make our businesses grow at the different levels. And it's really always an inspiring thing to meet all these amazing women.
So you help each other.
Yes, we help each other. And I would say that particular project taught me that I feel like I said before, people feel like women don't work well together. But throughout the project, all the women that I met, there was such a great energy amongst women. So I personally don't relate with people who say women don't support each other or they're always fighting, because in my entire journey as an entrepreneur, and even with this project, the biggest people that have supported and who still continue to support me are women. So I think that we need to fight that narrative.
Okay, so you usually share some advice, you share also your struggle, and also your struggle. And one of those struggles are misogyny and sexism.
Okay, yes.
And I know you are living in a predominantly male environment. And men being men, they have this mentality that she's inferior. I'm the man. I'm the man. I know everything, and I'm right about everything. So sometimes when you go to you want to work, it's like, what is she even talking about? Is she even qualified to talk to me? No, have you ever faced something like that, and how did you react?
Personally, like I said, sometimes true, you walk into a place and there's a general bias, but I think that at the end of the day, what I do is that whenever I go somewhere, I make sure I find an opportunity to speak or to say yes. I really find an opportunity to speak, whether it's verbal or non-verbal. But I think that at the end of the day, people respect work. And so whatever you think about me when I walk in the room, I walk out of there leaving you with value or quality that you cannot argue. But also, I know it's not easy. I mean, there's times when, you would talk to a vendor or a client, and they're like, what's this woman saying? Does she even know what's up? But I mean, I think over the years I've just developed, a tough skin, and I'm just very like direct and just sometimes they tell me I'm a bit too strict.
But don't let it affect you.
But yeah, I don't. I like I say, I always put what my deliverable is. So there's no vendor. There's no that would make me not deliver to the client. I don't care if I have to jump and get it done myself. If I have to climb the ladder, if I have to do whatever, yes, I would get it done. But I think in general, it's getting better.
Yes.
But we have a long way to go. But I think one thing that both men and women respect at the end of the day is when you deliver. I really like that feeling. Right? when somebody underestimates you, I'm not trying to argue with you, I'm not going back and forth with you, I just deliver and then I sit quiet and I'm like whatever I just deliver. Yes, I just make sure that I get it done. So that works for me every time.
Okay, so what's the impact? You like to work with women. You think that women can, help each other grow, not only personally but with their business. So what's the impact you hope to have on young women in general? With your agency, with your mindset, being you, what is the impact you want to have on the society?
I'm not first I want if there's one thing I always want, I want women to believe in themselves. First off, I was raised in a home where I could speak my mind. I was raised like I knew that I was smart. I didn't feel, like intimidated. So that's one thing that I hope to pass on, to other women who I realize may not have grown up with that same, confidence, with those same opportunities. I honestly believe that women are some of the smartest beings on this planet, and until they tap into that potential, the world would not move. So I feel like women need to have the courage to play their part and make their voices heard, because there's a reason God created two genders. So, and if both genders are not, at the same level in supporting each other, then we cannot go. So it's not like one has to be dominant over the other.
They complete each
other. They complete each other. It's like a bird has two wings. If one wing is broken, the bird cannot fly. Yes. So I strongly believe that the women in particular, because for a long time they've sort of been the broken wing, they need a lot of support to to carry their own share of taking the world forward. So if there's one thing that I would be happy if I can help even just one girl to come out from her shell and be confident and dream of something and do it and believe deep in her heart that she has the capacity to do it.
That's good. Okay, so I hope you help a lot of women to come out of the shell.
I try. We try. So, which is why projects that are specifically focused on women are really good for us. And even as a person in my personal life, I try to, be the woman that is there for other women, if you know what I mean. So not just always like
be a girl.
Yes, be a girl's girl. So you always see me cheering my friends, supporting my sisters. Like, I feel like we all need that energy, because if we all know that we're going through the same challenges, of course we try to cheer them on. Sometimes even just telling somebody good job or clapping when you do something, you never know.
It's both her confidence.
Exactly. So I try.
Okay, you try, but you can create a better environment alone.
Yes.
So what do you think should be improved here in Cameroon or in Africa to really improve the entrepreneurial environment for
interesting. I would still go back to the project we worked on. I feel like women would need more technical support. And by technical support, I mean like actual business training, because we have a lot of seminars where people talk about challenges, people talk about balancing home and work life. But I would suggest, or I would like to see, or I would like to support in creating platforms where women actually get like business training, because those are some things that women are not generally taught. How to do your taxes, how to do your accounting every month, how to what are the opportunities that you have working with banks, how do you get financing, how do you manage your finances, how do you turn that over into a profit? Because a lot of women in Africa are entrepreneurs, but we have some sort of home style entrepreneurship where the money is meant to feed the family. So you have a lot of women would do the same business over 30 years with the same
the same size.
The business has the same size. So, but I feel like if we have more practical and actual business support for these women to take that from like 100,000 capital to 1 million to 10 million, that would be very interesting. I would also suggest, something that we don't think about often is mental health, especially for women and for entrepreneurs in Africa. I would also suggest some sort of support for that, because a lot of us don't recognize when we're burnt out. We don't recognize when we're overworked, when we're overstressed. And as an entrepreneur, you cannot do your business if you're not 100. If you as a person are not at 100. So that would also be something that I would work to. Those two things are like my biggest learnings from over the years, and it's something that I hope I have the opportunity to actually improve on or support or actually get done.
One of the biggest innovation.
Yes.
One of the biggest innovation in the world is internet, new technology.
Oh yes.
So now, if you have an iPhone and a good internet connection, you can improvise yourself as a communication expert or marketing expert and your job is slowly losing its value. Now you can go to someone, say someone comes to you and say, I want you to do this, and you say, okay, give me maybe 1 million. You say, oh no, someone told me that you can do it at 500.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, there is that man on the internet that say that who say that you can do it with a lesser budget than what you're asking. So your job is slowly losing its value, and I know it's really hard on you. So how are you managing it?
This is interesting. First off, I on the contrary, I think the whole digital age has actually helped the PR landscape, because now it is easier, because it's on digital. It's easier to see the impact of PR. I would take an example that is trending online right now, right? So you have two actors who are in some sort of disagreement, and there's one actor that for the past 10 years his image has been 100.
Perfect.
And there's another actress whose image is not so great. And so now, for example, she says he treated me badly, and the whole internet says that's a lie, because we have followed this man for over 30 years and he has always been amazing. So I'm sure that the guy would not have believed his PR people for the past 30 years, but now he sees how important it is. And as much as there's internet and there's AI and there's automation, the human, I don't believe that the human factor of PR can ever be replaced, because there's still things that AI cannot understand, like emotion, like human emotion, authenticity of certain things. So instead, I am one of those who believe that the internet is helping us as PR people. And in terms of, yes, there's always someone that's doing it cheaper somewhere. Everywhere in this world, there's, yes. And it's in all industries, in makeup, in hair. There's someone who does her hair for 20,000 and there's someone who does her hair for 2,000. And both of these people, are great. But the thing that keeps us in business and makes us different from the AI and those who are, I don't know, cheaper, is the value. Because if we charge you 1 million, we're giving you value for 1 million. We're not giving you value for 10,000 and charging 1 million. And I think that value is very, very, very important. So instead, we use internet as and the digital space as something to help us, because for once, us as PR people, we have proof. Because before we only had maybe radio and TV, and you don't know how many people read, you don't know how it impacts people. But today I can see that, okay, I put this content out, 1 million people saw it, and because of the way that I put this content, 6,000 people applied. So I feel like that instead helps us. So I don't look at it as, oh, my job is dying or something. Yes, we, especially us at English Nation, we instead learn. If there's something new, we jump on it, we learn it, and we add our human and creative touch to it and make it better, so that any day, anytime, if you see our work and you see the AI work, the difference is clear. that's what,
Okay, so technology is the only thing that's constantly changing.
Yes,
we are also changing. You change.
We're changing.
Since the beginning of Image Nation till now, we change.
Yes.
So what is the difference? What's the difference between the MAFUE from 7 years ago, 10 years ago?
One, I'll say it has made me stronger. Yeah. So there are certain challenges, I face today, and 7 years ago I'll just start crying. But today it's like breakfast. It's like, okay, you again, we move, let's go. Another thing is I've learned to listen. Usually as an entrepreneur, you come in believing that you have all the answers you know what to do, you have all the solutions.
Yes.
But with time, as I've built a team, I'm learning to listen more, say, yes, you have this idea. You know, I'm also learning to delegate more. So yes, to delegate more, to trust other people, you know. So to employ the best people so they do the best work for you. So you know, as entrepreneurs, you believe that you have to be the comptable,
You have to do all the work.
marketing, the sales. But one thing I've learned is that your business would grow faster if you let the professionals of that thing do it. So so I'm learning. I've become stronger. I'm learning to listen. I'm learning to give people chances to contribute and I think those three are the three main things that I have. I've learned that are much different from me. You know, 10 years ago, I'll be struggling to do 100 things by myself. Today, I learned to, you know, close my laptop and ask other people to do things and just breathe or just watch a movie or just sit with family. So I think my younger self should be proud of me. I hope so.
No, I know she's proud of you.
I hope so, yeah.
Okay, so I want you to use those experience to share some advice, some tips for young women to be an entrepreneur like you, or who admire what you are doing in communication and PR.
So first, as an entrepreneur, I would say you have to believe it. You have to believe it so strongly that it's difficult, like for discouragement or challenges to. That's the first thing, you have to believe in your heart. Second thing, you need. I would say you should always have a support system. Have a place that you can lean on, because we are all human beings, and we need that. And for people who want to get into communication, I would say don't be afraid. Don't be afraid that AI is coming for all our jobs, you know. Or yes, I think
everybody's afraid of that.
Everybody's afraid, but I think that, you know, communications is a really amazing field. You know, you have many different opportunities, many challenges, and we even need more people, because, you know, the story of Cameroon, the story of Africa cannot be told by just a few people. We need more and more people to tell our own story, you know, build our image as a country, as a continent, you know, and just make sure that we create our own space in the world. So I would really encourage them to follow what their passion is, and, you know, just create something, just start. And one thing I would say is just start. You know, I have a friend who always says this: just start. Even if you fail 5 times, just wake up again, figure it out, and you just move, do something.
Don't build everything in your head.
No. don't block your own self. Just try, just do something, you know. It's easy for the brain to give us excuses, you know, so just go past those excuses and just execute, just try, and you figure it out. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the advice. And I have two last questions. Okay. The first one is, how do you see yourself and your company in like 5 years? Where do you see?
I mean, first off, I see us growing, you know, just past Cameroon, you know, and across Africa, you know, which I think we have started doing this year. And I see us also continuing to change the landscape, you know. One thing that we're currently focused on a lot is training other people in public relations, training, you know, companies on how to handle, you know, their public relations, how to handle their social media, how to handle things. So I'm looking forward to in 5 years, I would really be proud if there are many more agencies first off. If and us, we would continue to deliver value and deliver it more to more and more clients, you know, grow our team. We are currently at 8, and the dream is in 5 years we should be at least 20 or more. So yes, the dreams are big, but I think
Okay, last question.
Alright.
When you look back at your life and your journey, everything you went through, if someone gives you the opportunity, the occasion to go back, will you, I don't know, do the same thing? Reproduce the same?
I would.
Oh.
I would. Like I would do it. Like I'm that confident in the path that I am in, you know. Yeah, I think I would still do communications. I would still do PR because it's such for me it's so natural, you know. It's strange, but you know, when I'm working on a strategy or something, I feel really, yeah, so I feel like even in my next life, I'll surely be somewhere in heaven organizing one. Oh yeah, I think.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay,
I'm honored.
Okay. I learned a lot. I've learned a lot from you, and I know the one who are going to listen to this video are going to learn a lot. Don't forget to like and share and comment. Share the video to your friends, your family, and all. And follow us. Also follow to appear in Image Nation PR social media.
Yeah, on all platforms.
On all powerful
Image Nation PR.
Okay, thank you, and see you next time.